Hi and welcome to today's video, which is my empties for July. I've also got a little haul because I haven't got very many empties. I've only got this little bag here. So I'll start off with the empties. I've got some cotton rounds, but I can see it's not, it doesn't tell you who made in Turkey. I don't know where I got them. I'm thinking maybe something like Home and Bargains, but I'm not sure. Actually, I think it was my local chemist. And it's cotton soft. These were quite nice ones. They were a bit dearer than the oldie ones I normally get. And they were nice enough. And I use them... I use more of them if I have makeup, but I do use them to cleanse the skin morning and evening. And then, as I've got a cleanser here, the lid, it flew off somewhere. This is Garnier Micellar Milky Cleansing Water for sensitive skin. Now, I got a few of these in a beauty box, and this is the first one that I'm using. And it is really nice. And what I do, I have a smaller bottle that I decant into, and I generally get about 3 decants into that. So yeah, it's very nice. I'm glad I'm able to use that. I'm not saying it's particularly good for waterproof eye makeup, but I use it more for foundation and things like that, or if I haven't got makeup, just to clear any debris off the skin. And they've got an eye makeup remover by Garnier, which I like. It takes a few months to use this up, as it does with the large micellar water, because I don't use a lot each time. So I've got a 2-in-1 express eye makeup remover. So it was a biphase. So you had to shake it up. So that was for waterproof makeup, eye makeup and lipstick. Really, really good. I enjoyed that. It's one that I would definitely look to use again. Not my favourite, because I'm just using my favourite at the moment, but that was nice enough, and it did last me a few months. Then I have an Ultra Sun Face SPF 30 that I think I got in a QVC Tilly box some time ago. That's nice. It's not matte, so if you put this on your face, I would like put my skincare on. It does leave the skin shiny, but then it doesn't bother me that much. Or I would put foundation on top, my makeup and whatever. But it is nice to use. It didn't irritate at all, including my eyes. Then I have an emulsion from where's that? What's it called? It's Elixir Skin, and it's just collapsed on itself. But I got that in an advent calendar. I've used another recently, and I tended to use that at night after I've had a bath, and in between me putting my night routine on. But I used most of that up in June, so I've only had a little bit less to use up, but I'm not having baths at the moment, so I'm just generally putting my skincare on morning and evening now, or at the moment. Then I have a Jolly Rose hand cream. That is quite an old-fashioned rose scent, but it's lovely. It's quite unisex. It isn't sweet, but it's quite a thick, waxy, emollient hand cream. Better for winter, but I did enjoy it. Not my favourite, but it was nice and lasted me a good long time. Then I have an item that I'm going to pass on. It's the Aveda Damage Remedy, which I've used a large one of this in a project pan, and it took a long time to use up. I thought I'd give it, but I was using it on dry hair on the ends, but they say put it on wet hair, so I was trying that, and it didn't do anything at all. I really disliked it, so I'm going to pass this on to someone who will enjoy, hopefully may enjoy using it more than me. Then I have an Olaplex number 3, which is a hair perfector, and I use this as a pre-treatment on damp hair, either once a week or once a fortnight in between my Philip Kingsley. I do like that. It does smooth my hair quite nicely. So obviously it's doing something for the bonds, because I do dye my hair and it's quite fragile because it's grey. You can see a lot of the grey roots coming through because I don't feel up to dyeing it at the moment. Then I have a makeup item that was in a project pan, on my main project pan, and it's by Mina, and it's the BB Cream SPF 15. That's quite an orange colour. It's probably not showing up orange in here. I'll just see if I can get the lid off. It is a bit, but not that much, but it is, believe me, really, really orange. So I managed to get that used up and out of my project pan, but I had a backup because I got that in a beauty box and selected it twice. So I'm going to pass this on to a friend who may be able to use it, or one of her family members might be able to use it. Then I have another item I did really like though. This one. This is Verso Super Facial Serum with Retinol. Retinol 8. So that is obviously by Verso. Now I used this on my neck and décolleté overnight, and I think it was about, it says last 6 months. And I'd like to say there was around between somewhere, I don't know how many mil, is it 15 mil? Does it tell you? It says 10 mil, but it did last a long time. It was lovely consistency. This is very little retinol, so it will be good as a starter serum, and I would suggest using retinols on their own until you know what tolerance, until you build up to it to like 1%, which is the maximum generally you can get for sale here. But it was nice. No redness on the neck. My neck is very, very sensitive, but I did like using that one, and I got that in some gift we purchase or other, or an advent calendar. Then I've got an item that I didn't quite finish up, because I never finish these up because they go dry midway through or they go stiff. So it's Sally Hansen Insta Dry Top Coat. So I put some nail varnish remover in, and it worked to a degree, but it left my nails quite cloudy when I tried to put it on top. So I'm just giving this up. And so at the moment I'm not bothering with the top coat, although I prefer to use it for longevity. It has its hit and miss because I have a very gel-like finish top coat that goes matte. You put this on, it generally lifts the gel type varnish. So I have a bit of a love-hate with top coats, but this is one of my preferred ones. I'll get one of them at some point again. Then I have an item that was in a project pan. On my project pan, it's precisely my brow pencil. That's a mini. I got it in an advent calendar in December. So this is all done. And it's in shade number 3, which is a little dark. I prefer 1 or 2. Blonde. But it's a light, it's supposed to be a light, cool brown, pale brown. But again, it was a bit dark for me. Then this is an item that was in a project pan that I finished, and this is Madison Overhouse, which is a really unusual. It's OVA and then it's -HUS. So yeah, so it is a neutral sort of pink, not quite Barbie, but we're getting there. And I used that over spring, and it was nice. But I managed to get through it fairly quickly. Then I have an old lip gloss, Lab Shine. I don't even know if they do Lab Shine anymore. By Makeup Forever. I can't get the remnants out. It was fine. Not my favourite. Maybe for the colour, but it was nice enough. And you can get some limited Makeup Forever online here in the UK. Then I have a Bad Girl Bang by Benefit. It is a mini. And I got this in an advent calendar. And it's quite a dry formula. And it's supposed to give a lot of impact. I obviously didn't put much on because it's supposed to add a lot of volume. It can be a bit spidery. But I managed to get that used up. It took me a couple of months, and that is the wand. I would use it if I got it again, but it's not one that I would go out and buy because I prefer length to volume in a mascara. But yeah, that is now finished. But I know a lot of people like it. It's quite a popular mascara. Then I think the last item in here is is a perfume, and it's Vivienne Westwood Mon Boudoir from my project pan. That's all used up. I have a backup, and this is a fresh, fruity, floral that came out, and it was only out for about a year, maybe 2 years, and then discontinued by Vivienne Westwood, and all the fragrances line was discontinued a number of years ago, and it's not my favourite of them. I think it's my second favourite out of the Flanker series. I'm using another one, Sin Garden, at the moment. And my actual favourite I don't have a backup of, it's Joy Edition. But this was nice enough, and I will be breaking out my other boxed one for use in the future. But it is a lovely, it's a really, I like the crown and the orb on top, which is obviously Vivienne Westwood's symbol. So yeah, pleased to get all that finished. Now then, I didn't particularly need to buy a lot of things, but I did go out to Boots looking for certain, I can't even remember what I was looking for at the time. So they had an offer, and I picked up enough products to get the offer. I wasn't going to, if I didn't need the products or like the products, I wasn't going to just buy any old random stuff. But basically, it says it's £30 worth of items, including the pouch from various brands, and it's Boots, and it says Beauty Heroes by Boots. So I was looking around, and I went in for a specific thing, and I couldn't find anything. But basically, one of the Boots sales assistants managed to find something for me, and I said I want a glitter glue so I can lay down on the lids, let it go tacky or dry down, and then put some glittery shadow. So she was able to find me one by Barry M, and it's Glitter Fix, and it has a 12-month lifespan, and it's made in the UK, which I'm pleased about. So it is Glitter Gel Fixer. So there it is. It's a clear gel. Now, I've tried it, and I've tried it putting glitter on straight away, because it is quite runny, and then I've left it to go tacky for a while and put it on, and it's not a particularly good glitter gel in my opinion. But I'm going to continue to use it to get a few more uses out of it, and then I may try and pick up another brand, because I do have glitters that I use that seem okay, but in order to get multichrome and to get the other colours to sparkle through, often you do need a specialist gel, I find, to work well on the eyes. So whilst I couldn't particularly feel it on the eye, which is good because some gels you can really, and glitters you can feel, I'll have to work with it a bit more and see what I can do. But certainly it didn't lift the shadow underneath. Then I'm always looking at eyeliners, and I look for unusual colours. So there's one by, let me just see, it's 17, which is Boots' own brand, and it's called Line Up Eye Pencil 040 Green. Now, I would call it a khaki green, because green can be anything, because I think there's more greens than any other colour in the colour spectrum. There's more greens. But this is a pencil, which isn't my favourite. I prefer a push-up gel. But it is very creamy, and you can see it is a true khaki green, which or a slub green, and I love that shade. I love a khaki, which is a yellowish brownish olive green. Love it. So this was only £2 or £3, so I'm pleased to have that one. And again, I've checked it where it is made in Italy, so that is a good sign if it's made in Italy. Then I got suckered in by 2 nail products, which I don't need, but this one is a taupe, and more of a mushroom. There's a bit of pink in, so maybe a mushroom colour. It's coming a bit more taupe. And this one is by Barry M, and it's Jelly. Gel Shine by Barry M, and I'm not sure what the name of it is. I'll put it in the description if I don't already. Oh, it's Tiramisu. So that was certainly £3 or less, I would imagine, for that one. And then I picked up an Essie, and I think this may be reduced in a sale bin or something, I'm not sure, but it is a lovely sparkly product. So it's basically a pinky beige, and let me just see if I can find the name anywhere. Now, it might have had a name on it at some point, and I have taken it off. I can't see a name. No, there's no name on it. Oh, is it on the top? Here it is. Birthday. It's called Birthday, and there it is, because it is like a birthday cake. It's very, very glittery, pinky base. So you could either put it on a pink base or just put loads of layers on until it's built up. So it's something I would like to use. So those products cost, added up to £20, just over £20. So basically, if you spend £20, then you could get this kit that's supposed to be worth 30. I'm not sure that it is, but you get a nice plastic travel container, which you could use if you were travelling through the airport or whether it's clear. And it seems to be fairly well substantially made. And inside, you get a powder puff. Now, I know these are all the rage at the moment and everyone's using them, but I don't actually have one quite like this. And it's one where you put your fingers through and it is specifically shaped to go under the eye and round the nose. So I haven't got one like that. So I'm pleased to give this one a try. Then there was a lipstick which I've actually got on the lips today. And this is by L'Oreal. And it's a satin. And it is called Seine Sunset, as in the River Seine in France, in Paris, and it's 107 colour Riche. So I'll show you the colour in the bullet. There it is. Now it's coming up a bit warmer than it is on the lips. It's more of I'd say it's a neutral brown, and it stays on the lips very, very well. And I didn't think I'd like the colour, but I actually do. I quite like it. Then there are two nail polishes. This one is a pink, but it's quite a warm tone pink, not quite Barbie shade. And it's a Step 1 by Rimmel, and Rimmel Gel. So obviously you don't need a lamp, but it's called Cocktail. 032 Cocktail Passion. So there it is. It is coming to fairly, it could be the lighting a bit corally, but maybe it's a bit of a corally pink, but I think a bit more pink than coral, but the lighting is pulling a bit warm toned, because my curtains are pulling like a yellowy mustard and they're not the green, so it just shows you how the light is affecting the items. Then I've got by Essie, Mademoiselle number 13. Now this looks very much like the Essie ballet slippers, and there's one same name by Chanel. I think it's called Ballet, and I've had both of those. It doesn't seem quite as opaque, it seems a bit runny. It's difficult to say, but it's very, very similar. And I do like this shade. I have gone through several bottles of this, and it looks really, really nice. You have to build up, I think, a few coats for opacity, but I do like Essay. So they're all the items that I picked up in Boots, and I got gift with purchase, so I was pleased about them. There isn't anything else I particularly needed, but I went out specifically for the glitter glue. And then finally, I treated myself to a Gucci lipstick. And this is a satin one. And then the shade is 103 or 103. And it is, what does it say? Oh, Carol Beige. So it's Carol Beige, Carol Beige. Now I love the Art Deco packaging on the lid, or the etching, I should say inscriptions and etching. And this is a very heavy component. Now I've had over the years a lot of historic ones. I don't actually have them at the moment, but I did, particularly when I was quite young child. I used to collect a lot of the 30s, 40s, 50s type lipsticks, and I don't have them at the moment, but I did used to have a lot. And it is a very, very good way. It's a very, very similar, and it is the top is not magnetic though. I will say it's not magnetic. You have to click it down, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and a lot of the weight is in the lid. And that is the colour. So basically, it's a pale beige. There it is. So I actually like that. I don't have a lot of beige lipsticks, so I wanted to add that to my collection. But the Gucci one is expensive. it has a slight perfumey scent, a bit like, you could say a bit orange, a bit like the bronzer that I have by them. It's a similar perfumey orangey, obviously not as powdery note, but yeah, that's one that I really like the look of, but it was an expensive item. So by Gucci. So that was a treat to myself. So that's all that I've got. So can I say thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that your time is valuable. Hopefully I have a few more items next month. I'm not hoping to buy anything. I mean, there are some things that I like. There's a Bobbi Brown face palette, and I think it's got light, medium and dark. The one I want is the medium, which has got an orange um, fabric outer, a bit like artificial velvet velour type cover on. And I do like that, but I need to see it in person because I like an orange blush, but some say it's more of a coral with red tones, and I have a lot of red in my face, so I've got to be very, very careful with anything that's red toned on the actual face. So I'll have to see if I can look at that in person, then I'll get it, but I don't know when because my ability is that poor. I can't really travel in a car because I can't sit in a car, so that's going to be a complete problem. I can walk fairly well with crutches or a rollator frame, so I don't know when I can, because it doesn't say it's a limited edition, but with Bobbi Brown they tend to have stuff for a year or two and then they discontinue, so at least it's a fair amount of time. So I will go and see it in person, because the bronzer looks more like a contour and it is quite cool in the medium, and the highlighter I think is a beige tone, which is, or a champagne, which I prefer to gold, and the lighter one has quite a warm toned bronzer, which too golden for a contour for me, and I couldn't use it as a bronzer. So I'll see if I can get that, but I need to try it out. But other than that, there isn't really anything much that I'm after, because I don't really need to add to my collection. But anyway, can I say thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you found it interesting or entertaining, and hopefully I shall see you again in another video. The next one planned will be my update in my project pan, but I've got a couple of weeks or just under to get to have a bit more use of my products. But anyway, just suffice to say that hopefully I'll see you again, but take care of yourselves and bye for now.